the digestive system of the farming animals, including
Rabbit, goat, chicken,
pig, carabao,
and cattle. So let's go! So now let us discuss about the digestive system of a rabbit. So first of all, what is digestive system? Digestive system is a complex food material that converted into simple food material in the presence of enzymes. So sa digestive system ng rabbit, it consists of two different parts. So the first is the alimentary canal at digestive gland. So sa alimentary canal, ito yung parang cold tube. Dito yung nakakalocate yung mga different parts sa alimentary canal. First is yung mouth. Ito una yung alimentary sa mouth. Pagkatapos sa buccal cavity here, dito nalocate yung buccal cavity, and then sa kanyang pharynx. Pagkatapos ay punta naman siya sa esophagus, and then stomach. Pagkatapos sa small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and anus. So yun yung mga part ng alimentary canal. So digestive gland naman, ito yung mga glands na tumutulong para mas mapadali ang pag-breakdown ng food. So ano yung mga nabibilang dito sa digestive gland? Ito yung mga mucous gland na makikita pa rin dito sa may buccal cavity na area, salivary gland, gastric gland na dito makikita sa may stomach, sa liver, pancreas, and intestinal gland dito. Yun yung mga gland na pababilang sa digestive gland. So, unahin natin dito sa alimentary canal, dito sa simula sa baba niya o sa mouth. So, pag intake ng food ng rabbit, dito nag-start ang pag-digest sa food. So, pag intake niya sa food, ginagamit niya kanyang ngipin, at sa pag-digest niya, yung may glands na tumutulong para mapadali ang pag-grind. So, anong mga glands ito? Ito yung mga mucous gland at salivary gland. So, pag-digest ng food sa mouth, napoproduce ng saliva ang rabbit para pag-grind niya ng food, mas mapadali ang pag-grind. Pagkatapos ng breakdown sa mouth, ang pagkain, ang food, ay didiretso naman siya sa pharynx. So, yun yung unang passageway para papasok yung food dito sa tiyan na area. So, sa pharynx, katapos na sa pharynx, nadaan naman siya dito sa linya ng esophagus. So, ito yung daanan ng pagkain dito sa esophagus. Itong malaking parang tube. Pagkatapos ng esophagus, pupunta naman siya dito sa may stomach. So, sa stomach, dito yung mga enzyme na tumutulong sa pag-digest ng mga carbohydrates, sa starch, sa protein, sa sugar. So, ano to yung mga enzyme? Ito yung mga molecules na tumutulong para mas mapadali ang digestion. So, dito yung makikita yung mga gastric gland. So, itong mga gastric gland, ito yung may mga pepsin na mga enzyme na tumutulong para mas mapadali ang pag-digest. Sa liver naman, dito na nagpa-process ang mga fatty acids na ginagamit para maging energy sa rabbit, at dito din na pag-process para ma-maintain ang bloodstream ng rabbit. So, pupunta na siya dito na part. Before siya papasok sa intestine, dadaan muna siya sa pancreas. So, ang pancreas nagpo-produce ng enzyme para mas mapadali ang pag-digest sa food. So, pagkatapos niya sa pancreas, papasok na siya dito sa small intestine. Dito. Sa small intestine naman, dito yung pag-absorb ng mga carbohydrates, starches, sugar na 90% of it. Dito niya na dadaan sa small intestine. At before siya pupunta sa large intestine, dito dadaan muna siya dito sa may malaking parts na tinatawag na cecum. So, ang cecum, malocate siya between the small and the large intestine. So, ang cecum, ano itong ginagawa ni cecum dito? Pagdaan ng food dito sa cecum, ang nasa loob ng cecum is maraming healthy na bacteria, yeast, and other microorganisms na mas tutulong sa pag-digest na naman ng food. So, pagkatapos ng mga digest na, specifically sa fiber, kasi yung fiber mas mahirap siya i-digest. So, tumutulong si seso para mas mapadali ang pag-digest ng mga fibers. So, pagkatapos na niya pag-digest ng mga fibers, hindi na niya kailangan. So, dito na dadaan sa malaking tube na tinatawag na large intestine. So, yung mga matitigas na mga bagay na hindi na kinakailangan ng katawan na rabbit, so, ang ginagawa doon, magpapasture na siya dito sa large intestine. So, sa large intestine, dito na dadaan yung mga hard materials na ilalabas na, i-withdraw na ng rabbit. So, pagdaan niya dito sa large intestine, dito na naman siya pupunta sa may rectum. So, dito sa may rectum, dito na yung pag-form na ng mga mga hard materials na makikita natin yung dung ng rabbit, yung mga bilog na maliliit. So, dito na siya dadaan. Katapos ay ilalabas na siya dito sa anus o sa puwet ng rabbit, at yun na yung whole process ng digestive system sa rabbit. So, from food material, nagbe-breakdown, maraming mga enzymes, maraming mga glands, mga parts na tumutulong sa pag-digest, hanggang sa paglabas na naging isang waste material na. So, ayun, yun lang ang mga parts ng digestive system ng rabbit.
Good day everyone. So now I will discuss you the digestive system of a chicken. Many people asking, how does the chicken chew its foods without any teeth? So according to this, even without teeth, chicken have one of the most efficient digestive system in the animal kingdom. Let us take a look to how the poultry digestive system works. Food is taken by the beak. So this is the beak of the chicken here, which is perfect tool for pecking food in crumble or filiform small grains, grass, or insects. Chickens are omnivores, meaning that in addition to commercial feed, they can eat meat like crabs, worms, or occasional mouse, and vegetables like grass, weeds, and other plants. A small bit of saliva and digestive enzymes from the mouth into the esophagus. So here is the esophagus of the chicken. Here, from the esophagus, food moves to the crop. So here is the crop, like belongs to the stomach of the chicken. An expanding storage compartment located at the base of the chicken's neck. Here, esophagus, where it can remain for up to 12 hours. The food trickles from the crop into the bird's stomach. This is the stomach of the chicken, where digestive enzymes are added to mix and physical binding the food occurs. The gizzard is why chickens do not need teeth. Here is the gizzard. It is a muscular part of the stomach that uses grit or green grades in fiber into small, more digestible particles. So, in addition, guys, I don't think if chicken manures was waste to be disposed of, because it can makes a great fertilizer for your flower beds or vegetables garden, because it is high in nitrogen. And it is recommended to let it age for a bit in a compost pile before adding it to your gardens. So, a quick tour for our digestive system. This is again the esophagus. Transport food from the mouth to stomach. That is the function of esophagus. And the crop. Again, crop here. A punch of esophagus used to store food temporarily before moving it to stomach. So, dito siya muna magstay before siya mag-go dito sa stomach. And stomach here, like, as a two-part. This is the proventriculus and the gizzard. Principal organ where food is broken into smaller units. It has two parts. So, the lizard and proventriculus. First story, the lizard is a muscular part of the stomach that uses grit and green grains and fibers to smaller particles. Small intestine, here. It is the small intestine. It is aids in digestion and nutrients absorption, composed of the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Liver. This is the liver. Liver of the chicken. This is the largest glandular organ in the body. Aids in the metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. The caca. Here's the caca. Here, the two. It is a bacterial action in caca helps break down the undigested food passing through the intestine. The caca turns into the large intestine, which connects from the cloaca. Here's the cloaca. Next is the large intestine. Here, it is functioned primarily to absorb water, dry out indigestible food, and eliminate waste product. And here is the cloaca. Cloaca, where the digestive, urinary, and reproductive system meet. And next is the oviduct. Here, oviduct, the tube that allows for the passage of eggs from the ovary. Then the trachea. Where's the trachea? Here. Trachea. Here. That is the main tract of the system of the tubes by which air passes from the lungs in vertebrates. Next is the nostril. Here, the nostril of the chicken. Either the external is either fleshy lateral wall of the nose. Next is the heart. Here, this is the heart of the chicken. A hollow muscular organ of a vertebrate animals that by its rhythmic construction acts as a force pump, maintaining the circulation of the blood. And the spleen. This is the spleen here. It is a highly vascular ductless organ that is located in the left abdominal region near the stomach of intestine of most vertebrates and is concerned with the final destruction of blood cells, filtration of storage and blood, and production of lymphocytes. Next is the larynx. This is the larynx. That is the modified upper part of the trachea of air-breathing vertebrates that in humans, most other mammals, and some amphibians and reptiles contains the vocal cords. Here, that is the larynx. And the pancreas. Here is the pancreas, a large lobulated gland of vertebrates that secretes digestive enzymes and the hormones insulin and glucagon. Next is the gallbladder. Here is the gallbladder, the white here. It is the membranous muscular sac in which bile from the liver is stored. And the duodenal loop. It is the first part of the small intestine extending from the pylorus to the jejunum. And the last is the kidney. Kidney, one of the pair of vertebrates, organs situated in the body cavity near the spinal column and excrete waste product of metabolism. In humans are bean-shaped organs about 4.5 inches long, lying behind the peritoneum in a mass of fatty tissue and consists chiefly of nephrons by which urine is secreted, collected, and discharged into a main cavity from which it is conveyed by the ureter to the bladder. So guys, that is all the digestive system of the chicken. Hope you understand what's the function of each and you learn something. That's all.
Good day, everyone. So this is the digestive tract of the cattle. So in the digestive tract of the cattle, so we have first the esophagus, the rumen, the omasum, abomasum, reticulum, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, small intestine, cecum, large intestine, and the rectum. So first, in the digestive system or the digestive tract of the cattle is the esophagus. So the esophagus performs the swallowing action through waves of muscle contraction. Then that muscle contraction called in human they also call this the movement of the food from the mouth to esophagus called the peristalsis. We call it. So moving the feed down. It has a bidirectional function, meaning it can move feed from the mouth to the stomach or from the stomach to the mouth. So for example, pag usap sang baka or baka, sang baka, di ba pag usap niya sina, nabilin gina siya nga big or big particle. So kapag natulan niya na, pwede na siya ibalik sa iya bata pa sa sapon liwat. So parang bidirectional ba, from stomach, from mouth to stomach and from stomach to mouth. Kung kumbaga pwede niya isuka para usapon liwat. Pero hindi ba pwede sa tao. Then next is the rumen, or on the left side of the animal is the largest stomach compartment, consists of several sacs. So it has 2 sacs. It can hold 25 gallons or more of material depending on size of the cow. So kapag fully grown cattle na siya, so pwede siya it can hold 25 gallons. So if gamay pa or mga 1 year old pa lang cattle, siguro mga it only hold 10 or 5 gallons. So because of its size, the rumen acts as a storage or holding vat. So kung saan pa siyang hold sang pagkaon or even sa mga liquids para sa cow. So kung saan pa undigested particles or ingesta. So aside from storage, rumen also called the fermentation vat. So dire gina-ferment siya, gina-ferment na dire na part para pwede na siya magamit or pwede na siya mabutang dire sa next part or sa reticulum. So next, sa reticulum, the second chamber or in the alimentary canals, the ruminant animal. So during a part, that's 2 compartment Japan, wall of total stomach, and it has located at the base of the esophagus, during the part, lapit sa esophagus. So ang yang so one of the function of the reticulum is to collect smaller digesta. So, ang digesta mo na siya itong mga pagkaon or mga liquid or nutrients na ginakaon ka cattle. So, there sa reticulum, siya ang ga-absorb sa mga smaller digesta. So, kapag wala siya kayo na choose ang cattle, so pwede siya mabutang sa rumen as storage. Pero kapag gamay-gamay na gid siya or smaller ingesta na gid siya, pwede siya mabalhin diri sa reticulum. So for example, kanang small bit or yung mga dust kadako nga ingesta, mga yak grass or mga pinaon niya, pwede siya mabutang. So next is the omasum. So omasum is the third stomach compartment. It holds only about 8 liters or 2 gallons in the adult cow. It's made of many leaves of tissue which serves as absorb water for the cow. So there is omasum, amo ni siyang ga-absorb sa water. So sa sulod sini, it has leaves like tissue nga ga-absorb sa water. So ang omasum is just like a globe-shaped structure containing leaves of tissue. Amo to siya ang ga-absorb sa water for digestion. So it's absorb water and other substance from digestive contents, just like feed materials. Between the leaves will be drier than ingesta found in the other compartments. So kapag dire ga-absorb sa water, so pagkatapos siya ma-absorb ang water, magbalhin na siya dire sa abomasum or the next compartment of its stomach. So sa abomasum naman, the fourth stomach of the ruminant or the fourth compartment stomach of the ruminant. So which receive the food from omasum, from omasum, and passes to the small intestine. So it acts it acts as connector Japon from stomach to small intestine, but its main function of the abomasum is to digest protein from both feeds and ruminants. So sa mga feeds, di ba, may makita kang mga protein nutrients. So dire ni siya i-digest na dire. Kaya nga ring abomasum has a digest gastric juice. Amo to siyang gatunaw sa mga hard particles, for example, mga protein, mga high, mga fiber, and producing abomasum accomplish this. Pagkatapos nila dire, mag-deliver na siya into a small intestine. So, next, liver. So, drin naman sa liver, for a healthy liver na dairy cow serves many important functions. Glucose production, synthesis, detoxification of ammonia, and production of antibiotics. So, hindi man ginamano sa pagkaon sa mga digestive o sa mga cattle na makakaon sa mga iban nga hilo, for example mga ammonia nga chemical kay aram na gid na sa ano sa mga plants, or for example basta na sprayhan sa mga herbicide, so hindi gid man na siya maiwasan. So aring liver mo, it acts as detoxification, or man siyang ga-detoxify sa carbaw kung may ingest man siya sang mga dead chemical. So aside from that, ang liver nga ni it acts also daw gina-convert niya ang fats to usable energy source for the cattle. Like for example, di ba kung gisado ganiwang wala na gid may makaon ng isa ka cattle. So atong mga fats nga to sa lawas na i-convert niya to into usable nutrients. For example, ng mga fats niya sa lawas, convert niya sa nutrients like carbohydrates, or ano man ang ma-convert siya into usable nutrients para ano pa siya. Then, it also neutralizes toxic elements from the metabolism, just like bilirubin, ammonia, and ketones, that transform into usable nutrients. Japon ka ang mga deadly chemicals pwede nga Japon ma-convert into usable nutrients.
Good day everyone. So, the next part is the pancreas. The endocrine function of pancreas is the production of insulin and the hormones. Is performed by smaller groups of cells called islet. The islet of Langerhans. The islet of Langerhans is completely surrounded by acinar or exocrine cells that produce digestive enzymes. So, the pancreas is the one who normalize the hormones of the cattle. So, the same na siya sa human. Kaya ang human, diba, ang purpose diba sing pancreas ng human is to normalize the sugar content of the human. So, sa cattle, ang isa sa function niya is to normalize the hormones. Then, i-normalize niya po ang insulin content sa cattle. So the next part is the gallbladder. So the gallbladder stores bile produced by the liver. Bile is important to digestion of lipid. The gallbladder forms as an outgrowth of bile duct, as a secondary hollow of posterior edge, the original hepatic rudiment. So, for example, sa tao, kapag di ba kung sobra ka fatty food, like makakaon si mga tambok sing animal, sige. Di ba ang tantan nga tambok or fats is nagkakadto sa aton nga gallbladder. So that's why kung bisa maka-feel tasing sakit diri nga part. So para nga po sa animal. So once ang animal sa kaon sing fatty foods, ang dili na siya magkadto, tapos ang mag-normalize na is tong bile duct na ginaproduce ang liver. So the next part is the small intestine. So the small intestine completes most of the digestive process and absorbs many nutrients through villi or the small finger-like projections. From the villi, the nutrients enter into the blood and lymphatic. So, ang intestine is may ara siya sing yung tinatawag na villi or the small finger like projections nga amo ni ang naga distribute sa nutrients sa atong blood kag sa lymphatic. So then the next one is the cecum or the cecum. The cecum is the large area where the small and large intestine meet. So, para sa kapon siya isa, amo ni siya nagka-connect aring abumasom and kaning ang small intestine dili siya nagamet. So, para sa kapon siya ang small intestine amo puning ang cecum ang kumbaga boundary nila duwa. So, ang cecum breaks down the some previously undigested fiber but exactly importance of cecum remains unknown. So, hindi pa siya completely na-discover kung ano gid ba ang main purpose ng cecum. So, microbes digest some undigested feed here, but the remain digestive function of the large intestine is absorb water. So, ang hindi ito kaya ma-digest is nagakadto sa may large intestine. So, the next part is the large intestine, no? So, large intestine is the last section of the tract of undigested feed tufts. Pass through microbes, digest some undigested feed here. So, ang tanan nga, kumbaga, ang ginaon sa cattle or baka, nga, under process na siya, nakuha na sing nutrients, then so, kumbaga sa lubido, sapal na, dali na siya ikato, amo to siyang ang ginatawag nga, feces, or, let's say, poop, sang baka. So, the last one is, the rectum. The rectum lies between the terminal portion of digestion colon and anus. So, ano yung digestion colon and this is the anus. So, it's empty most of the time but except kung mass movement, large intestine ang halimbawa, ang baka is dumastress good, halimbawa may tao, the more nga ma-stress sila, the more naga-process sila nga digestive system, amo nga isa mapansin ta ang baka once nga palapitan ta siya nagagawa siya mga feces niya or poop or sometimes makaihi siya. So that's it.
Good day everyone, this is the digestive system of carabao. The carabao and the cattle have similar digestive system. So we'll start at the mouth. The mouth is the first digest the food. After sa mouth is esophagus. Dito dumadaan pagkatapos ng pagkain ng carabao, dito dumadaan ang pagkain. This is reticulum. This part is the reticulum. And the main function of reticulum is to collect the smaller digestive particles and move them into a omasum, while the larger particles remain in the rumen and further digestion. The next is the omasum. This is the part of omasum. It's a globe-shaped structure containing leaves of tissues. It absorbs water and other substances from the digestive content. Feed materials between the leaves will be drier than ingesta found in other compartments. Next is the liver. This is the part of liver. Liver is serves many important functions like glucose production, synthesis, and detoxification of ammonia, of production of antibodies. The next is the rumen. It's a large stomach compartment and that consists of several sacs. It can hold 25 gallons or more materials depending on the size of the carabao. Because of its size, the rumen acts as a storage or holding vat for feeds. Aside from storage, rumen is also fermentation vat. Is the small intestine. The small intestine is the major site for digestion and absorption of nutrients. The small intestine is up to 6 meters long and 2 centimeters wide.
The upper part is the duodenum, where the most active in digestion. Next is the large intestine or large bowel, is the last part of the digestive system in vertebrate animals. Its function is to absorb water from the remaining indigestible food and then to pass the useless waste material from the body. Next is the cecum. The main function of cecum are to absorb fluids and salts that remain after completion of intestinal digestion and absorption, and to mix its content with a lubricating substance. The next part is the pancreas. This is where the pancreas is. The endocrine function of pancreas is to produce insulin and other hormones. Is performed by small groups of cells. The islets of Langerhans, the islets that completely surrounded by acinar exocrine cells that produce digestive enzymes. The next is the gallbladder. This is the part where you found gallbladder. The gallbladder stores bile produced in the liver. Bile is important in the digestion of lipids. The gallbladder forms as outgrowth of the bile duct as a secondary hollow at the posterior edge of the original hepatic rudiment. The last part is the anus, where it is the exit point of waste materials.
So that's it.
That's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Lindsay Puno, and today naman po ituturo ko sa inyo ang digestive system of the goat. As you can see, may makikita kayo dito na model ng isang goat. Magdodrawing muna tayo na model ng goat. So, we need lapis, our pencil. Malit lang ang pangit, so okay na to. Ko lang kung okay na ba to. Ayun po. Okay na yan, basta may makakita ako sa inyo. Ewan ko nga kung sungay ba to or sungay ng karabaw to. Sige na po, sige po. We will start our topic for today. So, goats are herbivorous ruminant animals. Their digestive tract are very similar to those of cattle, sheep, and deer. So, goats have a ruminant stomach which consists of 4 chambers, which is the rumen, reticulum, mesum, and oomesum. Okay. The food passes through the mouth into the esophagus, into the first 2 chambers, which is the rumen in the reticulum. And then the goat which regurgitates its cud and then chews at multiple times. So the food does get mixed up again, and then it gets swallowed and goes through the same process in the oomesum, which is right there, where absorption takes place, and the rest of the travel to the through stomach, which is the oomesum. Then through the small intestines and the cecum. To large intestines, the rectum, and then the rest of the waste came out through the anus, and then whole process is repeated. So, that is the digestive system of the of the goat. Ayan.
Okay, good morning everyone. Today, we are going to report about the digestive system of a pig, its part and its function. The digestive system of the pig has the ability to convert vegetable and animal materials into highly digestible nutrients. Its anatomy and physiology are similar to that of humans. According to some authors, both swine and humans are omnivores, which means both it eats plants and meat.
carnivores and omnivores possess a simple monogastric digestive system. In a monogastric digestive system, food is chewed, swallowed, and enters a low pH stomach where protein disassembly begins. As you can see at the monitor,
this is the anatomy of pig's digestive system.
Before I tell you the function and anatomy of the pig, I will enumerate first the digestive system. First, we have mouth, esophagus, stomach, gallbladder, liver, duodenum, pancreas, the small intestine, sansum, colon, the rectum, and lastly the anus. The digestive system of the pig is well suited for complete concentrate-based ration that are typically fed. The entire digestive tract is relatively simple in terms of the organs involved, which are connected in a continuous musculomembranous tube from mouth to anus. Yet, this multifaceted system involves many complex of interactive functions. So, meron tayong facts or background about sa pig. So, the domestic pig, often called swine, hog, or simply pig, when there is no need to distinguish it from other pigs, is a large domesticated, even-toed ungulate. So, it is variously considered a subspecies of the Eurasian boar or a distinct species. So, first, mouth. The mouth serves a valuable role not only for the consumption of food, but it also provides for the initial partial size reduction through grinding. Then, if walang mouth yung pig, walang pupunta dito sa stomach para magtunaw ng pagkain. So once food is chewed and mixed with saliva, it passes through the mouth, pharynx, and then down to esophagus. So the teeth serve the main role in grinding to reduce food size and increase surface area. The first action to begin the chemical breakdown of food occurs when feed is mixed with saliva. Ito tayo sa esophagus. The esophagus, sometimes known as the gall, is an organ in vertebrates. It consists of a muscular tube through which food passes from the pharynx to the stomach. Food is passed through the esophagus by using process of peristalsis. Dito tayo sa stomach. The stomach is a muscular organ responsible for storage, initiating the breakdown of nutrients and passing the digesta into small intestine. The stomach has 4 distinct areas, which includes the esophageal, cardiac, fundic, and pyloric regions. So, we have the 4 regions for the stomach. First, the esophageal, cardiac, fundic, and pyloric regions. So, dito natin siya makikita. This region of the stomach does not secrete digestive enzymes but has significance in that this is where ulcer formation in pigs occurs. Irritation in this area due to the fine particle size, stress, or other environmental factors that can contribute to ulcer formation in swine. Once food passes through this region, it enters the cardiac region. In the cardiac portion of the stomach, mucus is secreted and mixed with the digested food. Food passes into the fundic region, which is the first major portion of the stomach that begins the digestive process.
Nasa stomach ang lahat ng pagtunaw para makuha ng pig yung mga kailangan yung nutrients. So, dito sa stomach. So, lastly, the digestum moves into the bottom of the stomach, which is pyloric region. This region is responsible for secreting mucus to line the digestive membranes to prevent damage from the digesta as it passes to the small intestine. Ito tayo sa gallbladder. Gallbladder, so in Ilonggo, gallbladder is akdo. So gallbladder, an organ attached to the liver, which bile that helps in the digestion and absorption of fats. Ang gallbladder is located around lang siya sa liver. Color green yung gallbladder. So, these are the function of gallbladder. Gallbladder stores bile produced by the liver. After meals, the gallbladder is empty and flat, like a deflated balloon. So, before a meal, the gallbladder may be full of bile and about the size of a small pear. So, the function of the gallbladder is to store and concentrate bile, to respond to intestinal hormones, to empty and refill its bile stores. We go down to the liver. So, the liver is one of the largest and most sensitive organs, particularly in mammals. It receives a major part of intestinal blood and acts to regulate the blood glucose levels. Its primary functions and metabolic maintenance of homeostasis, glucose, and lipid energy. The liver normally functions is to filter the blood coming from the digestive tract before passing it to the rest of the body. The liver secretes bile that end up back in the intestine.
This is the definition of small intestine. The small intestine is the major site of nutrient absorption. Its primary function is to facilitate the breaking down of food and absorption of nutrients by the body. Next is duodenum. Liquefied food or chyme exits the stomach and enters the first portion of the small intestine, known as duodenum. In duodenum, chyme is further digested by secretions from the pancreas and gallbladder. It is largely responsible for the continuous breaking down process and also considered as the mixing pot of the small intestine because of the churning process that take place there. It mixes the chyme with enzymes to break down food, adds bicarbonate to neutralize acids, preparing the chyme for breaking down of fats and proteins, and the jejunum. Jejunum and ileum. It is the second of the middle portion of a small intestine. The main function of jejunum and ileum is to finish chemical digestion or enzymatic cleavage of nutrients and absorb these nutrients along with water and vitamins. The primary function of jejunum is to absorb sugars, amino acids, and fatty acids. Both jejunum and ileum are peritoneal. The ileum absorbs any remaining nutrients that did not get absorbed by the duodenum or jejunum, in particular vitamin B12, as well as bile acids that will go on to be recycled. Next part is the large intestine. The purpose of the large intestine is to absorb water and salts from the materials that has not been digested as food and get rid of any waste products left over. The large intestine also absorbs water and changes the waste from liquid into stool. Cecum. The cecum is the first part of the large intestine. The main functions of the cecum are to absorb fluids and salts that remain after completion of intestinal digestion and absorption, and to mix its contents with lubricating substance or mucus. The internal wall of the cecum is composed of thick mucous membrane through which water and salts are absorbed. Next are the colon, rectum, and anus. The colon is where the feces are formed and are later expelled through anus. Rectum is attached to the posterior end of the large intestine, which is the last straight part of the digestive system. The rectum is located in the dorsal region of abdominal cavity. Under the intestines, the rectum is surrounded by large bands of muscles which help to move digestive waste or feces or the stool out of the body. Finally, the anus is the exterior opening of the digestive system, the lower end of your large intestine. The rectum stores stool until it pushes stool out of your anus during a bowel movement. However, digest meat. However, we don't typically feed pigs T-bone steaks. Most pigs eat a combination of plant-based ingredients. In fact, it can be dangerous to consume pork from pigs fed raw meat because of a parasite called trachinae that resides in the muscle tissue and can be transferred to humans. And that's our report. Thank you.
So that's all for it, guys, and we hope that you learned something new throughout the video. So thank you.